We're going to be learning the Musar from Chot L'Yisrael for Parashat Shoftim for Monday. Echad haya metza'er, there was one person who was metza'er et hachacham, who was giving a hard time. He had the tendency to hurt the feelings of a certain chacham, of a certain sage. ואמרו לחכם, כמה גדול עוון אותו האיש שמצערך לא פשע. And they said to that sage, other people told him, look how great is this man's sin, that he's hurting your feelings when you have done nothing wrong to him. Amar lo echacham, and the sage answered, Eni mafshi'o, I'm not going to fault that person. Ella avonotai asuli, it is my sins that have caused this. In other words, many times people claim to be the victims. Oh, this person did wrong to me, this person did that wrong to me. Here's the exact opposite. Even though this person is hurting his feelings or attempting to with no reason, he's not blaming the other person. On the opposite, he says, Ela avonotai asuli. Rather, it is my own sin that have caused this to happen. He's taking responsibility. The other person is offending him, and the sage is saying is because of something that must have done that made me liable, or made me vulnerable, or made me or caused this kind of situation to develop. Amar mitzvah lecha la'anishor kalgelo. The other person says, but you know what? It's a mitzvah. It would be a good thing to punish and curse him. Amar lo, he told him, the sage answering, Ken haiti ma'anish u'mkalel et atzmi. So the sage answer is, so he should punish himself for the sins that the sage would have done. That's what he said would have caused this trouble. Just like it says there in Bereshit with the brothers of Yosef regarding that the situation there with the goblet of that was put in the bag of Binyamin. What did they answer? They knew it was not something that Binyamin would have taken, but they said, God has found the sin of your servants. In other words, it was a sin that we must have done that caused this situation to develop. Amar Yehuda, Baruli she'echad me'avadecha sama gavriya be'amtachto. Yehuda told, it's clear, Yehuda told Yosef, it's clear to me that one of your own servants, Yosef, put the goblet in the bag of Binyamin. But rather this happened because of our own sins. That's what caused this trouble. That's why כשקילל שמעי את דוד אמר דוד הניחו לו ויקלל. כי השם אמר לו ועווני גרם. That's why once when there was a situation there in the prophets that Shimei cursed David and his soldiers wanted to grab this person, and David says, leave him alone, because David HaMelech took responsibility and said that it was David's own sins that caused this situation to happen. And he brings other examples also. If David felt that if he hadn't sinned in other situations, he wouldn't have had the trouble that he had with Amnon, his son, with his daughter Tamar, or what happened with Avshalom that rebelled against his father. That's why, Mait onen Adam hay gever al hatta'av. Therefore, why then should a living man complain, a man, about his sins? Something of trouble happens to you, don't accuse the other person, but rather introspect and look in. Maybe you can find some sins that you've done that may have caused this situation. Shlosha enam nodanim ela bishlosha devarim. He says there are three who are identified by three things. He's going to explain. Ya'anav bishat kaso. How can you recognize a humble person if he's truly humble? Bishat kaso, at a time of anger. Is he still going to be humble when he's angry? That's how you recognize a truly humble person. Ve'gibor b'milchama. And a strong man or a hero, when do you recognize his audacity, his strength? You recognize it when? B'milchama, during time of war, not during time of peace. Ve'ohev b'shat hatzorech. And how do you recognize a true loving friend, a true friend who loves you? How do you recognize him? Bishat hatzorech, at a moment of need. Sometimes when a person is in need of help, maybe the one who thought he was his friend is not going to help him. That's not a true friend. A true friend is a person who's there for you when the need arises. This was the Musar of today for Monday Parashat Shoftim. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.